Hello, my friends. Jacob is here once again. And thank you for spending some time with me and pressing that button and checking out what this week's episode is all about. Because I've been waiting a long time to do this very video. We're finally going to get some kind of confirmation that Nibiru is real. It's about time, folks, huh? So, lots going on. It's 2017. This year is going to be crazier than any year before it. Trust me, I've been waiting my whole life for this year. We're going to see some crazy changes together, and I hope that you are buckled up, because we're not just talking about Nibiru today. We're talking about a lot of stuff that's going on right now, like within the last 24 hours or so. A possible pandemic that is, I don't know why the media isn't talking about this. The bird flu is pretty much going everywhere right now. A lot of people are up in arms about it. CDC has this August did something that really just takes away all of our rights, supposedly to combat stuff like this. We got alien signals going on. We got loud booms going on. We got mall brawls going on. We got madness. But we have Nibiru, and that's what today's show is all about. So thank you for spending this precious time with me, because this year is an exciting one, and this is my first video of the year, and I'm so happy that you're here to take a part of it. So buckle up, people, because we're about to enter 2017. I hope that you all are sitting down, okay? So, let's get right into the Nibiru stuff, all right? The Planet 9 stuff, the Planet X stuff. Now, when I started talking about this, if you don't know how I got onto this topic, you should go back and watch my videos from this summer, because this was all thrust upon me. This is not something that I was actively engaged in following until very recently. But I do find it quite coincidental that right after I started posting these videos, we started hearing about dwarf planets, one after the other, being discovered. And I do find the timing quite peculiar. And I love when people come on there and they say, oh, there's no such thing as Nibiru. Or they say things like, oh yeah, I thought we were supposed to all die, like back in 2012, and then we were supposed to die again and die again. Now listen, I've never said that we're about to die. I mean, we're all going to physically die, but we're all more than this physical body, so I'm not too stressed about that. I'm kind of excited to see what comes next. But this whole planetary system that is coming, and now said to be on this huge elliptical orbit, just like Sitchin said, it's like, it's a real deal now. I mean, they got some guys in Caltech that they've figured this out, and they're now saying without a shadow of a doubt that this is the year that it will be photographed and it will be discovered. And yes, we are going to get the confirmation that we've all been waiting for. No, we're not crazy. No, we're not taking off our tinfoil hats because they look so fine. We are just a little bit ahead. We're just a little bit ahead than everybody else. We're just a step further in our walk. We're a little more awake than most people. We're questioning, and that's a good thing. So, this whole planetary system, I'm going to read this because this is a really great article, is they're saying that it is the reason for the tilt in our solar system, the tilt of the sun, in fact. So the article goes on to say, Planet 9, the undiscovered planet at the edge of the solar system that was predicted by the work of Caltech's Konstantin Batygin and Mike Brown in January of 2016. I posted about that. I was so psyched to see it because I can't tell you how many haters you get. You get a lot of people. And I get it. You know, you don't want to say, yeah, there's going to be huge changes, and yeah, we may have a harder future if meteors start crashing into us, and we may have more climate change if this system comes into our solar system. Well, it's coming. It's heading our way. There are some people right now that are saying that it's going to be here by October. I don't put my faith in stuff like that. I don't believe in fear tactics. I don't think anybody should be scared about this. I think we should all be excited because we're here at this particular place and at this particular time for a reason. And we're going to find out what that is. Okay, so the article goes on to say, because Planet 9 is so massive and has an orbit tilted compared to the other planets, the solar system has no choice but to slowly twist out of alignment, says Elizabeth Bailey, a graduate student at Caltech and the lead author of the study announcing this discovery. All of the planets' orbits in a flat plane with respect to the sun, roughly within a couple of degrees of each other. That plane, however, rotates at a 6-degree tilt with respect to the sun, giving the appearance that the sun itself is cocked off at an angle. Until now, no one had found such a compelling explanation to produce this effect. It's such a deep-rooted mystery and so difficult to explain that people just don't want to talk about it. Just like the people that don't want to talk about Nibiru. Bottom line is, now they're talking about it. Now it's news. Now it's making the headlines. Even NASA is trying to discredit it with their videos saying it doesn't exist. The bottom line is, it is. If you haven't seen my videos on this, check it out. They're putting telescopes out there, infrared and other, devices that can actually see because of the nature of this thing, because of the iron oxide. It's very, very difficult to see, which is why we're not seeing it in the night sky. Bottom line is Brown's and Badigan's discovery of evidence that the sun is orbited by an as of yet unseen planet that is about 10 times the size of Earth, with an orbit that is about 20 times farther from the sun than Neptune. Planet 9, based on their calculations, appears to orbit at a 30-degree off from the other planet's orbital plane in a process influencing the orbit of large populations of orbits in the Kuiper Belt. Okay, so basically when this thing enters into the Kuiper Belt, which it's already heading there, most likely, probably already is, we are going to see more meteors. We're going to see more changes to our solar system. So this explains why there's this big tilt going on. And they're noticing that there are things in our solar system that are moving and they're being perturbed, if you will, by this gigantic planet, which I like to call, and many other people like to call, Nibiru. Bottom line is, many other people say, that it will most likely be discovered this year. So, in your face, people that say that it doesn't exist, because it does. I know it does. I have faith that it does, and now I have evidence to back that up. Ha! How about them apples? I also find it quite peculiar, because if you know anything about the story and you know anything about the Anunnaki and all that jazz, if you're not into it, check it out because it's kind of cool. They got a movie coming out called Alien Covenant, which is basically based on, alien life seeding the planet and all that jazz. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. It's still fascinating. I think it's really cool that there are alien signals that we've been getting, and we're getting them in mass amounts, and we just got like another bunch that just came straight at us past that area. Ha! And what are they saying? Are they saying that it is, alien life? Is it extraterrestrial life? Are they saying that? Do they dare say that? Well, guess what? That's what they're saying. So people that don't believe in it, this is what other people are saying too. We're getting signals far, far away, and to use power, the amount of power necessary to send signals like this to us, extraordinary. So we're talking advanced civilizations. We're talking technology that we don't quite have. Bottom line is, we're being bombarded by these signals. At the very same time that we're getting these alien signals and quite a few more sightings around the world, we're also hearing loud booms everywhere. Yeah, even in my neck of the woods. That's the only reason I'm talking about it, because it just happened up here in New England. I'm not in New England, I'm in Long Island, but around about where I am, people are experiencing these loud booms. They don't know what it is, they can't explain it, but it's been going on a lot. So what's that all about? "2017 is off to a great start. Did you know that the Pope all of a sudden is going to now give a zero tolerance policy when it comes to pedophilia?" Oh, good for you. That's really nice. Way to go. About freaking time, huh? Yeah. Well, bottom line is, the good Pope, he knew about, child abuse. And I don't even like to use the word child abuse because it is child rape. And it was rampant in, the Catholic Church, and it was rampant it's rampant in politics, and it's rampant in powerful places all over the place. This world is ruled, sadly, by a bunch of perverse people. The people that are in control are sick. So the fact that, it's just now major news that all of a sudden, you should have a zero tolerance policy. Of course you should have a zero tolerance policy. You shouldn't be raping children. It's disgusting. And people that do this should, they're going to reap what they sow eventually. Because what we put out there, people, we get back. Whether you believe it or not, it's going to happen. You're going to reap what you sow. And even those people that you think they haven't gotten their comeuppance for the horrible things they've done to you, they will. We got to learn to forgive people. We got to learn to let things go. This world is not the heaven that people think that it is. It is more like the hell that people think is going to happen down the road. I mean, look at Syria. Look at what's going on in Africa and other places around the world. Slowly but surely, the entire world is becoming destabilized, and it is 100% part of this plan to enslave us all. Now, what they're not talking about, and let me grab this here because I wanted to go into this too. They're not talking about the bird flu. Now, back in 1918, I think it was, that was the big influenza outbreak, and that was I think it was the H1N1. It was the bird flu, or the Spanish influenza. This thing killed like 100 million people. I mean, it has a pretty high mortality rate. And see, right now, what you're not hearing on the mainstream, you're not hearing on the news and the mainstream media, is the fact that there are more than one strain. H1N1 is one, and about 50% of the people that have that die. But there's H5 and N8 and H5N7, and they're starting to see these really highly contagious viruses now crossing over, to humans. And that's why they're culling birds like, it's they're on fire. I mean, Germany. In India. And it's not just in India and Germany, but it's also everywhere. It's in Ireland. It's in Wales. It's in France. The bird flu is going global. It is global. In fact, right here in the States, right here in my neck of the woods, this is actually very spooky, is that this H58 N8, I think it was, crossed over. It went from a bird who was infected to a cat who was infected, and then it went to the, I think it was a veterinarian of the cat, actually contacted it from the cat. This is not a good thing, people. I mean, this is the reason why they're killing hundreds of thousands of these birds is because this thing could get out of control real quick because it's highly contagious. I don't say this to freak you all out. I just think that, we should be vigilant this year, washing our hands, be vigilant. Make sure that you're not touching your face, especially if you're around somebody who's sick, just be smart, be wise. And you might want to make sure that you're eating eggs that are, from the States. Because right now in South Korea, because of the bird flu outbreak, guess what they're doing? Well, United States working real hard to make a lot of money because they can't eat the eggs now because all the birds are so sick over there. So we're trying to send them out. "2017, it's been madness, all of this stuff. And let's not forget right after Christmas, those mall brawls. Yeah, that's right. I mean, just madness. People are just fighting with each other. Just out of control. And we're not talking like one mall. We're talking like a dozen malls all over this country. It's like people have lost their minds.
Everyone's running, everyone.
And they have lost their minds because to physically harm another person and, to see somebody fighting and think, oh, let me just get in on the action is, that's madness. It really is. I mean, this world is it's such an oppressive place, and you can be in this world but not be of it. You don't have to follow suit. You don't have to live a life where you're miserable all the time and you're angry all the time. You can make a choice. You have power over the gates of hell, if you will. You can let yourself into hell or you can let yourself out of hell. I choose to live in a place of peace. I choose to see a brighter tomorrow. And I know that our thoughts do indeed create. As a man thinketh, so he becomes. It's really about what you're putting into your heart on a regular basis. I mean, are you focusing on the positive in life? Are you thinking about all that you can do? Or are you worried about what you can't? And are you angry all the time? We need to change collectively. We need to come together. And we need to understand that collectively, if we all focus on the right thing, we all focus on peace and prosperity and joy and love and kindness, we can bring that to pass. But right now, because of the media and because of everything else, we're fed a constant diet of hate and anger. And it's all about me. It's a selfie generation, right? Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something else that I wasn't going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you now because I think it's important. 2017 is going to be the year of great change. The end of the times that we've been in. There's a reason that people are freaking out about the Mandela effect all of a sudden. There's a reason that people are waking up and understanding that all of this stuff, all this temporal nonsense is really just an illusion after all. We can be better, and together if we just focus on what is important, and that means loving others more than yourself, this world will change. But if it doesn't, we got a lot of things heading our way to make sure that we will. Don't think that technology and all that is going to be around forever, because peak technology, well, may come to an end one day. We may see a lot of things come to an end this year. I'll tell you one thing that we're going to see this year, thanks to the CDC, is they issued a proposed regulation now outlining the parameters of the federal government's authority to impose public health orders, such as bans on travel and quarantines, in response to outbreaks. Coincidence that all of a sudden nobody has rights anymore? Coincidence? I'm not too sure. Are they just being super vigilant because maybe the bird flu is going to be a big deal and they're not telling anybody because they don't want anybody to panic about it? I don't know. But I will say that the government and, the powers that be have certainly put a lot of legal mumbo jumbo out there to make sure that none of us own anything and none of us really have any power anymore. But that's only in this world, you see? And that's coming to an end. Not the world's coming to an end, but the system that's in place is coming to an end. And that's why you see all this madness. So when you see this stuff, there's a great passage that says, when you see wars and you hear rumors, don't be afraid because the end's not here yet. So you're hearing about all this stuff and everybody's talking about how, gloom and doom. But the bottom line is these scriptures that everybody talks about, it says when you hear this stuff, the end is not yet. Okay? This is just the beginning. So don't get stressed about it. Be excited about it. Work on you and understand that there is more at play here. You are more than you know. And the source of you and everyone else is really in control after all. It's about time to get tuned into it. It's about time to think higher. It's about time to live your life to the fullest. And that means you must love. Because the only way to peace in this world is putting peace out there. It's not about going to the mall and getting angry because you couldn't get that new iPhone gadget. So you bash somebody in the head because they're standing in line and they get the last one. My goodness gracious. Consumers consume. Creators create. Don't be a consumer, be a creator. Create better for yourself and better for your loved ones. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for me. And thank you so much. I've been forgetting to say that. And my children tell me, you need to remind them to subscribe, Dad. I'm like, all right, I'm subscribing. Please, everybody, take your time, hit the button. And if you want to share the video, share it around. I think it's cool. Nibiru, it's gonna be a real thing very shortly. This is the year. This is the year, they say. So buckle up, people. I love you all, and don't forget, I will see you next week. Same time, same channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.